Let's get it.
It's another fine day here in the Carolinas, and I'm so glad to see it. I do hope everyone is well as always, and you're able to get out and enjoy this day like I am, getting some of this fresh air, sunshine, and hopefully some exercise in. I did have a great thought I wanted to share today, and it is the Most High or God loves, but by principle. God or the Most High loves, but by principle. And we see in Proverbs 4 and 7, it says, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and with all you're getting, get understanding. And principle means a fundamental truth or proposition that serves as the foundation for a system of belief or behavior or for a chain of reasoning. And I see the Most High loves, but by principle, because we see that the Most High does have love for people in general, but he says in his word, he says, if you love me, then you will keep my commandments. And I thought about that briefly this morning and asked myself, well, why would he ask us if we love him to keep his commandments? And basically because as a loving father, he wants the best for us. And he wants us to do what will keep ourselves safe. So basically we can say to ourselves, if we love ourselves, we will keep the Most High's commandments. And he says that his commands are not grievous. So basically they're easy. Let me read a few of my notes. If appears between the opening of the Old Covenant book of Genesis to the last word of the renewed covenant book of Revelations, precisely 1,595 times, depending on the version, 1,420 times. In the Old King James Version, the word love is mentioned 310 times. This should give us a small hint to how the author of the book thinks. And we see the Most High teaches throughout his book on principles. We see in Adam and Eve, he taught them by principle. The principle of doing what I tell you to do, you'll reap what I say you'll reap. And this is the main focus of his principles. If you do, then I'll do. If you don't do, then I won't do. We see in Cain and Abel's relationships with the Most High, how he told them to do a certain thing, and they didn't. One of them followed his orders, which was Abel, and Cain didn't follow orders. He tried to present the Most High with what he wanted to present him with. And of course the Most High denied his offering. So him being bitter and angry with the Most High, he took it out on his brother Abel and killed him. Then we see in Esau and Jacob's life that Esau didn't treasure the Most High's gift to him as his birthright. He squandered it for a bowl of soup. And we see that he had to pay the price for that, giving up his birthright. He was basically cursed to serve his younger brother. And the most important principle we see in the whole text is Yahusha, or Jesus as some still call him. And we see that he was the repairer of all these broken, or we should say he was the repairer of men not following the Most High's principles in the book. He gave his life to make right and to restore the Most High's principles on this earth. But we see how he came as a sacrifice, and the loving Father didn't break his principles because he loved his Son. Him being his only begotten Son with him from the beginning, he didn't say, okay, you don't want to go through this, you don't have to. When he prayed and asked the Most High to go against his principle, the Most High basically said, no, I can't do that. We have an agenda. And see, that's how it is with the Most High in our lives. He has an agenda, and we have to follow his agenda, not ours. And pardon all this wind, I know it's noisy, but I can't help the wind. But yeah, like I was saying, we have to follow the Most High's commands and his principle and live by them. And not only that, make his principles our principles. Make his way our way. We're going to get up and get it. Oh yeah. And the Most High, he didn't drop this text into my spirit until my prayer this morning or at noon, which I started earlier than noon because he woke me up and had me start praying earlier, because I was praying for each individual in my own household, basically my own family. And then by the time noon came, I started praying for Israel as a whole and the groups that I'm in on Connect TV, asking the Most High not only to bless Israel, but bless his children, the ones that's called and set apart, his remnant to the house of Israel. And then right when I finished, or right when it's like he shut off the light bulb. It was like, that's enough. Then the next thing I know, he dropped his spirit, Proverbs 4:7 into my spirit. So that's a great word for today, a great thought for today, just in that text by itself. Just in that script by itself. God is love, but by principle. The Most High is love, but by principle. And that just reminded me of it's not an old saying, but something he taught me a few months ago. He said, Robert, identity without intimacy still equals depart from me. So just because you know your identity in the Most High as being Hebrew doesn't mean you don't have to have a relationship with him personally. And the means by which he chose to have a relationship with us, being Yahushua, the way, the truth, and the light. The only way to the Father, the door. So when you say you're a Hebrew and you don't believe in Yahushua, Jesus, then he's still going to, at the end of the day, you're going to be like the scribes and Pharisees, which he says you're of the devil, your father. So we need to really study long before we go wrong in that area. But let's get it. principal. And he was asking me the question concerning me asking for help yesterday with my ministry. He was like, how passionate are you about what I asked you to do? Are you passionate enough to swallow your pride and ask for help? I said, yes, sir. And he reminded me of the principle about you have not because you ask not. Because folks can see me out here every day, they be like, oh, Robert's fine. He ain't said nothing about needing help, needing equipment, or nothing. So we're just gonna let Robert be where he at in his own ministry. However, this is not only my ministry, this is yours as being a fellow brother and sister in the Most High and a kingdom citizen and an ambassador of the Mashiach. And every ministry that's out here is ours. We should take ownership of it and be a part of it and support our brothers and sisters. Because a lot of us right now are not working because of the goings-ons, as I like to say. However, we are working for the Father. So he just kindly reminded me of that just now. So I thought I'd pass it along in obedience. Okay, let's get this last set.
Family, you know how you have a question? Well, let's put it this way. You ask yourself a question, and before you can answer it, the answer just pops up in your spirit. I choose to believe that that's the Ruach HaKodesh leading us into all truth. At the same time, I do believe we can answer our own common sense questions in our own minds because of our own experiences. However, at the same time, the text says that the Ruach will bring all things back into our remembrance. And I choose to think those relevant things. I don't want to misquote the text. Hey, can I ask y'all a question? Y'all know y'all the children of the book.
You said children of the book?
Yeah. You know what that means?
No.
It means you're the child, you the people that's in the Bible.
Yeah.
The people the Bible talks about. You know that?
Yeah.
We're the Hebrews. No doubt. Be safe. Have a good day, y'all. Most High was just reminding me of something he showed me in the text this morning. He said that he didn't make any mistakes when he said in the text that he scattered us to the four corners and to all nations. I said, okay. He said, yeah. What other idea do you think of when you think about scattering? I said, I heard you speak on that when you plant seeds. He said, boom, that's what I'm talking about. So he's indeed planted us for a harvest. To get a harvest throughout all the nations. And he just reminded me of that when I was just talking to them young people about their identity. He was like, Robert, all it takes is a seed. Don't try to go overboard. And see, one thing I've learned about trying to share my faith with other folks that if you're not careful, they're going to end up sharing their faith with you. you're going to start you're going to start questioning your own faith and what you believe in. That can be a problem, become a problem. The point is, you got to be obedient to the voice of the Most High. Like the text says, Yahushua said, only say and do what I see and hear from my Father. We can learn to have a lifestyle as such, then the Most High can use us for His purposes and His glory. When we get out here and try to be super brew and super Christian, we start blowing it. Just like I did when I first moved from the Carolinas to the DC area. Well, actually it was DC, Northeast on 13th Street. I had my butt handed to me by a non-believer. Matter of fact, he wasn't just a non-believer, he was an atheist. And he really put my understanding through the ringer. Because I was questioning myself and my relationship with the Most High after that encounter. And see what I was doing, I was in the bottom of the building, in the basement, in the laundry room, and called myself cornering folks off. What's up, bro? Sharing with them the word of the Most High. Or back then, Jesus. And how they needed sweet Jesus. And why. And when I tell you, this fella gave me the business, boy, he gave me the business. And if there is such a thing, my spiritual feelings were broke for a few weeks. But I think the Most High didn't come right back to me and encourage me after this mishap, I'll say, is because, for one, I think he loved the zeal. However, I lacked understanding of how to listen to the Most High's voice and share my faith. But see, as I'm learning like I heard Amore Dwayne say, Harris, that the more he learned, the less he seems to know in this walk with the Most High. And that we should always stay humble. And more importantly, just like that young fella said there, same principle. Follow the principles the Most High has set forth for us to follow. And one of the most important principles I've learned is where he leads is where I follow only. It's basically saying follow the leader. See, the text says the Ruach will lead us into all truth. So we have to continuously follow the Ruach and his guidance in our lives, guidance. Because see, that goes back to knowing what's right and discerning what's right. Because as I've also learned, the Most High will pull a switcheroo on you and make you turn around every time. I don't know why that, I know why, but he'll have us turn around going in a different direction. Just like with Moses. He had Moses to do something different. And it ended up costing him going into the promised land because he didn't follow them orders.